Welcome to another episode of RVCast, brought to you by CurbNTurf. This is actually part 2 of a series where part 1 was focused on how I went and upgraded my outdoor storage to a Sherpa rack from Owl Vans and also a large box. And in that first episode, we covered how to organize the inside of your door in your storage box. So if you haven't watched that episode, please check into that. This episode is focused on what we're going to do to the driver's side with our Sherpa rack. And one of the things that I've always wanted is to be able to carry some taller things that just don't fit in this smaller box. And they do have what's called a ski locker that is part of the Owl Vans. However, my weight maximum on my particular Sherpa rack, because my van is an older van, it's a 2018, I'm limited to 100 pounds on each side. And so that ski locker, it in and of itself weighs about 80, 90 pounds. And so there's not a whole lot more that I could put in. So what I did was I did some online searching for a composite case. And this is a gator case that is really mostly used for band roadie. And so the reason that they would have a large case like this, it's 55 inches tall on the interior dimensions. And so you can put a full-size keyboard in there as well as other band equipment going from one venue to another. Some of the things that I need to be carrying are these outdoor banner flags. You know, they come in a scoping pole and advertise CurbNTurf. And I want to be able to carry those. And as you can see, there's no way that that's fitting into this box. I could strap it to the outside, but then it's exposed to the weather. This gator case, being 55 inches tall, has plenty of interior unobstructed room to be able to fit, in my case, the display flags. And then also we can take some ancillary things that would be fun to have with us. For instance, maybe a set of golf clubs, snowboards, or anything that requires a little bit more height, but that we don't want to stick on the inside. And so what I did was purchase the gator case, saw how it's laid out. Then I just went right down to the hardware store, grabbed some metal strap that we'll be able to rig something up to secure it to the Sherpa rack, and then bought a bunch of bolts and nuts and washers that match exactly what they're doing on the inside of the box of the Owl Van. One of the nice things, I went down to Ace Hardware. The reason I chose Ace is they are the helpful hardware folks, right? And so I was able to take my mounting bolts out of the box. I just took one of them out, took it down there, handed it to the clerk there and said, hey, I need 6 of these. And boom, went right to work. Grabbed 6 combinations of bolts, nuts, and washers, including the rubber washer to make it airtight, watertight, and secure. And so the plan is to create an angle, a 90-degree angle with this to strap onto the bottom of the case for the vertical movement security. And then I'm going to do a horizontal strap across the top to just secure the box in place. And I think that we're going to have a solid deal here. It will require drilling into this box, which I'm a little bit nervous about, but I think that I'm confident enough that it's going to hold, that we can make a permanent solution for it. So let's get to work. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is determine how it's going to attach and lay out on the Sherpa rack. What I did was I just took a piece of the cardboard shipping container that the gator box came in. It's not an exact template, but it just kind of gives me a visual idea to help. And so the width of the case is 19 inches on the exterior. This top rack here is 16 inches. And so I've got a 3-inch difference there. So we're just going to plan on 1.5 inches on each side, which is roughly about right there. And then I need to determine how high to place this. I want to be able to, because there's a latch on all the way across the opening of the gator case, but then also on each end, so top and bottom. And so I want to be able to reach that latch to be able to undo it when I want to open it up. And so I'm going to put this just above the back bumper and I realize I'm going to be obstructing my license plate, and so I'm going to have to come up with another option there. I'll probably just mount it to the outside of this box. And then I've roughly got about 1.5 inches on each side. So I think that that's how this box is going to lay out. I should be able to still reach that top clasp, and of course grab the bottom clasp, and then all of the opening clasps here so that we can swing that door open. Now I just need to determine which one of these slots I'm going to bolt into, and I need strap long enough to go down and then 90-degree angle out so that I've got some good underneath support. And so we'll just measure that out. Okay, so what I decided to use is these extended horizontal slots, just so that I've got a little bit more flexibility, less rigidity in having to hit the hole exact. And what I want is, of course, to be able to line that up, but I want to add a little extra length and material just in case sometime in the future I decide to add more reinforcement. And so I'm actually going to go up above this slot. I've determined that in order to catch that and wrap down to the bottom, I need 16 inches of strap. And then we just need to determine how much I need to roll it so that I've got that 90-degree support. What length am I going to add to bolt it into the bottom of the case? So here we go. Okay, so here's the update. So this is upside down, right? So this is the mechanism that's going to bolt directly to the Sherpa rack. The holes on that Sherpa rack are 10 inches on center, or every 2 inches if you want the exact holes. There are some horizontal slots that give me some variance. However, the distance between those on the bottom and those on the top, I really want to be more precise, particularly on this one, because this is kind of the critical. The majority of the weight is going to be bearing on. And so I did drill a couple of holes, just 10 inches on center, put my strap in, and then what we're going to do is bend this down and attach it to what will be the bottom of the case. And then I'm not so concerned about where we're going to put it on the top, because that bar is going to be horizontal, and so they don't need to line up with these. They don't necessarily need to be 10 inches on center. What I want to do is have those wide horizontal slots available for the top. And so that's where we're at. I'm just going to finish bolting this on so that we can bend the metal straps down and attach them to the bottom. Let's hope that it all fits. Okay, so we've got everything put together, and I think this is going to work out great. So here's the inside of the case, and you'll see that those bolts that are securing the straps, very unobtrusive. And then let's take a look at the back. So this is our horizontal strap that will attach at the top. We've got the vertical straps that wrap all the way around the bottom to give it extra support. Now, the tricky part was placing these to where they are 10 inches on center to match the rack, and then these being 6 inches on center and offset in order to fit the hole pattern that's in the rack. I'll be honest, this kind of blew my mind a little bit, but I'm excited to put together, and I've just asked Tracy to come out and give me a hand hoisting this up. And so let's cross our fingers that it works. Okay, we are done. Thanks to some help from Tracy to help me put this on. I think we've nailed it. And oh my gosh, is that gorgeous or what? I'm really, really pleased with how this turned out. It's super stable, super steady. And let's just open her up. And there we have it. I mean, goodness. I'll be able to fit, like I mentioned in the beginning, those display flags for some advertisement for CurbNTurf, maybe some sports equipment, snowboards, golf clubs, whatever is too big to put anywhere else. And, you know, I may even at some point decide to put some shelves in. We'll see. But for right now, I am super pleased with how this turned out. A big shout out to Owl Vans for putting the Sherpa racks on, and a big shout out to Sweetwater, which is the online place where I ordered the case, the Gator cases. I couldn't be more pleased. So I hope that this is helpful, and I hope that it inspires some specific things that you may want to do to customize your van. And hey, thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the road. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RVcast. We hope you enjoyed hearing about our latest adventures on the road.
And don't forget, if you're itching to explore unique and interesting RV destinations, be sure to download the CurbNTurf app.
That's right, CurbNTurf, it's your go-to for finding those hidden gems off the beaten path. And hey, if you own property and you want to share your slice of paradise with fellow travelers, why not become a host yourself?
Absolutely. Just head over to CurbNTurf.com/start hosting to get started. Or reach out to us for more information.
Yeah, and you don't want to miss a future episode, so be sure to subscribe to RVcast so that you never miss a beat.
Until next time, happy trails and safe travels.
We'll see you on the road.